If you pay any amount of tax whatsoever, you need to hear this because chances are you're wasting a lot of money. Don't believe me? Well, just consider that here in the United Kingdom, the average worker in the UK paid 31.5% of their income to taxes, meaning nearly 1/3 of your income was paid directly to HMRC. That is just unacceptable. The fact is, there are several ways that people can reduce their tax bill by a mile. But of course, no one's talking about it, and HMRC won't be promoting it by saying reduce your tax bill by X, Y, and Z, because let's face it, if they did that, they wouldn't have anything in their coffers. That's why we need to look at exactly how the tax system works, the best ways to save a lot of money on your taxes today, legally, and the most underutilized tax strategies that anyone can start implementing, whether you're making £10,000 or £10 million. As soon as you drop me a like and hit the subscribe button down below, it's really appreciated. Alright, now when it comes to paying less in taxes, the secret is to make your income look as low as possible without actually reducing your income. Now, one of the best ways you can do that is by investing in a pension fund. Now, a pension fund is basically a long-term savings plan. It's a way of you putting money aside to provide you with an income later in life when you want to work less or retire. A pension fund is a long-term tax-advantaged retirement account that allows you to contribute a certain proportion of your income to it each year in pre-tax money. This means that for every £1 you pay into the pension pot with your pre-tax money, your taxable income will be reduced by that very same £1. For example, let's say you had a total pre-tax income of £3,000, but the HMRC could only tax you up to £2,500. Now let's assume from your income that you are going to make a £100 contribution to the pension pot. So without the pension fund, you are going to be taxed on £2,500 worth of monthly income. But after making the £100 payment into the pension fund, you're now going to be taxed on £2,400 worth of income. The £100 of the pension pot is tax-free. Not to mention that you've lowered your tax bill on paper, because before if you were paying 20% worth of tax on £2,500 worth of income, you'd be paying £500 in taxes. But now, because you're paying 20% on £2,400 worth of income, you're paying £480 in taxes. Even better, but some employers will even match your pension contributions pound for pound up to a certain point, meaning that you're essentially doubling your investment in this long-term savings account risk-free. But like everything else in life, there is a little bit of a catch. The downside is that you're eventually going to have to start paying tax on this income when you take it out of your account when you retire, which in the UK is cruising around about the age of 65 years old. By the time you get to retirement age, the tax bracket could be way higher than it is today. So from my perspective, it should come down to the following. The first point being if your employer is willing to match your pension fund contribution, which if that is the case, then you're a very lucky guy and you should take that deal because you're going to be doubling your investments. And secondly, paying into a pension fund could see you not only lower your tax brackets, but also lower your tax rate, which in the UK could make a difference between paying 20% tax or paying 40% tax. But it's a fantastic way to pay less tax. So method number 1, get a pension fund. Method number 2, and it's one of my most favourite things in the world to do, buy gold. Now there's a very specific reason as to why I say buy gold, besides the fact that I absolutely love it as a commodity and love it on my bling bling and all that kind of stuff. But the reason I say buy gold is because if you buy gold coins in the UK, gold coins are capital gains tax exempt. Capital gains refers to the profit that you make on the sale of an asset. So for example, if you bought a gold coin at £1,000 and then sold it 2 years down the line at £2,000, you've then made a capital gain of £1,000 because that's the difference between £2,000 and £1,000. Now, capital gains tax is what you would be taxed on that £1,000 in profit. However, have a listen to this from one of the largest sellers of precious metals in the UK, the Royal Mint. Bullion coins from the Royal Mint are exempt from capital gains tax for UK residents due to their status as legal British currency. In fact, all gold, silver and platinum bullion coins produced by the Royal Mint are classed as capital gains tax free investments. That includes gold and silver Britannia coins. So, due to their capital gains tax exemption, investors can make an unlimited tax-free profit on the sale of bullion coins. It's a fantastic way to avoid paying any capital gains tax on a profit that you make from the sale of these gold coins, but please just make sure that you can store them safely, securely, and it's in a place where you have ease of access to it. I will dive deeper into the whole subject of gold in a future video, but I will just say that I think now definitely is the time to buy. Gold is a phenomenal store of value and a great way to protect yourself against hyperinflation, We've touched on the benefits you can get from capital gains tax exemption from selling on gold coins. But I'm also noticing a trend where the price of gold could hit $3,000 by the end of this year. So I would say absolutely buy gold now. Not only is it a great investment, but it's also a great way to avoid paying tax. Method number 3, get a low emissions or an electric car. Now I'll be the first to hold my hands up and admit I cannot believe that I'm endorsing or recommending electric cars because I'm someone that loves petrol, diesel, gas, whatever you want to call it. I'm someone who loves the rumble of those kind of cars. But you deal with the circumstances that you find yourself in. And we find ourselves in a society today where you can benefit from getting a low emissions or an electric car. Hugely benefit, I might add. It won't come as a surprise to anyone living in the UK today that we're being pushed towards electric cars more firmly than ever before. Probably, from my perspective, we're being shoved towards electric cars, but that's beside the point. For example, in London, they've now introduced 2 daily taxes if you drive through the city of London in a gas-guzzling car. You have the ULEZ fee, and you have the congestion charge. Now, these are basically clean air taxes, if you like. And if you're in a gas-guzzling car, petrol, diesel, you're going to be subject to paying those green taxes, daily green taxes I might add. And it's not cheap. The daily ULEZ fee comes to a total of £12.50 a day. The daily congestion charge comes to a total of £15 per day. So, you're going to be charged a daily rate of £27.50 just to drive your car to work and back. I'm sorry, but that's not right at all. But like I say, we deal with the circumstances we've been given. So, let's think practically and pragmatically. How do we get around paying these fees? Well, the simplest answer is to get a low emissions vehicle or an electric car. Put simply, because electric cars are zero emissions vehicles, there are no emissions to be taxed under the ULEZ fee. So your car is essentially tax-free. And we're not yet done with the tax benefits. If you own an electric vehicle in the UK, anywhere in the UK, not just London, then you currently pay 0 in road tax as well. And because electricity is not classed as a fuel by HMRC, there are no fuel charges when you want to charge up your car. So think what you may, but there are a lot of tax benefits you can claim if you do buy an electric car. Now, would I recommend you buy one? You're talking to the wrong guy, so I won't comment on that one. I'm just saying there is an option to get those benefits if you do decide to go down that path. So, method number 3, although I personally wouldn't, buy an electric car. Tip number 4. Stick your savings or any earned income from selling stocks and shares into an individual savings account, also known more commonly as an ISA. So what exactly is the key difference between an ISA and a regular savings account? Well, the main point of difference is that an ISA offers you tax-free interest payments, so you get more money for your money. But it is worth mentioning there is an allowance to how much you can actually save in an ISA account every year. Now, for last year, in the 2023-24 year, the amount was £20,000 maximum, £20,000. And that allowance is the same across all the different types of ISAs you can open. So you can open a cash ISA, you can open a stocks and shares ISA, but you can only put a maximum of £20,000 across those 2 accounts. So you can't have £20,000 in a cash ISA and £20,000 in a stocks and shares ISA. You could have £10,000 in the cash ISA, £10,000 in the stocks and shares ISA if you like, but the total must be £20,000. So if you're planning on growing your savings over the long term, once you put them into an ISA account, they'll be tax-free forever. So I would 100% recommend opening up an ISA account as soon as possible and claiming those tax benefits as quickly as possible. And there we have it. In anticipation of the new financial year beginning in April, there are just some of the ways that you can lower your tax balance today and moving into the new financial year as well. Thank you all for watching, guys. Be sure to like down below, subscribe down below, comment down below, and I look forward to seeing as many of you as possible in the next few videos. Take care, and I'll see you all real soon. Peace.